Seriously. Oh, there you go. All right. It's saying I'm live. All right. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday, the 9th of December. All right. So we do have the moon in Leo right now. I'll get rid of this because it's not showing me anything. Yeah, we do have the moon in Leo right now. And for all intents and purposes, like the day is like there is a little bit of conflicting energies, all right? So we have the moon in Leo, yay, and the sun in Sagittarius, awesome, but we have Mars square Saturn today at 10:30. All right, so we've got this push pull. Let me see if there's anyone here. I don't think it's gonna. Oh, look at everybody here. Good morning, Kath. Good morning, Alicia. Hello, Helen. Good morning, Susan. How are you? Good morning, Louise. All right, so I don't know about you guys. It's a bit of a day. I don't know if you heard what I was just saying earlier. The moon in Leo is, shiny and bright, and we do have the moon trine the sun. That is at 8 p.m. this evening, and that is a very positive, and there is love and light and awareness and fun and children and grandchildren and all the good things. But I think that the Mars square Saturn, if you're not in the right headspace, it has the potential to get you. All right. So, like I've said in the words, while there might be some bright, shiny spots around, it could still feel like a struggle. All right. So, now at lunchtime, 12 p.m., we have that moon in Leo in conjunct the North Node in Pisces. All right. So, Leo is also the ego, it's our heart, creativity, romance, children, matters of the heart, joy, the things that you do that give you that little bliss bombs, delightful moments, so like I said, that overall it's really, really nice, but the Mars in Sagittarius that just wants to speak his truth and be on his quest, and square Saturn, which is in Pisces, as we know. So there might be some ideological or spiritual roadblocks, or maybe you subconsciously have this way of doing things. All right, Saturn in Pisces, it's like this is how it's got to be done, and Mars is like, no, we're going to go and find our truth. So I think just that conflict, so whether it's conflicting voices in your head or actually encountering criticism from authority, remember to take these recalibration moments. Now, that was a word that came in very strongly. I don't usually use the word recalibration, but it was a very intentional, you need to put this in your words. And I mean, as we know, for us that find it hard to meditate, 3 deliberate deep breaths, and to just try to calm your nervous system and listen to what's going on, pay attention to your environment. That is enough for you to come back to your senses. All right. I don't know exactly what it is. It's like there's 5 things I can see, there's 4 things I can hear, there's 3 things I can touch. It's something like that, but it is about coming back to your senses. And this is, I think, particularly important today if you are feeling stress. All right. So look, I know I woke up and just had stressful things happening. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Sean, and good morning, Kathy. How are you? So yeah, just to put it all into perspective. All right. So Mars is also square Neptune. All right. So he's square Saturn today, and he's going to be square Neptune in the next couple of days. So I think that is actually going to be on potentially Thursday, Friday. Oh, that is going to be on Sunday, actually, at 11 p.m. So, even Mars in Sagittarius, which is philosophy, higher understanding, education, being on that spiritual quest, all right? So there's a lot of spiritual sort of perspective here with the Sagittarius and the Pisces. And, Saturn goes direct tomorrow. So I wonder if we're sort of dwelling in our minds a little bit, and and the things that we believe in, or the stances that we take in life that bring us comfort. All right, so here we are, even saying that, I'm sort of working it out in my head. Mercury's at 26 degrees of Scorpio, all right, so still in that underworld landscape that we've been in for like 6 weeks now, like enough already. But it's coming back to that third hit of Uranus in Taurus. So we could be really sort of understanding what is making us uncomfortable. All right, maybe the universe is like poking the bear so that you can identify specifically what it is that you need to be working on, potentially, again, or just like having an awareness. So again, that lunchtime, I feel like if you sort of think on it, and don't let that inner critic take over, or that inner authoritarian that gives you a whole lot of shoulds. All right, so just be very aware of that. um, Now, after 8 p.m., we then go into a trine with Mars. All right, so midday in conjunct the North Node. All right, so that lunchtime may be where this awareness comes into it, and I'm hoping that you will feel that pride in yourself. All right, or you will feel like I'm okay. All right, because that Leo moon just wants to have fun, but that that North Node that we're heading towards, it's out of our comfort zone. You know what? Again, there are quite a few things that are out of our comfort zone, even though it does look like on paper it should be shiny and fabulous. I just don't feel that. Like, really, with that recalibration and awareness and perspective, and I don't know, like even that the Neptune moving tomorrow, you could be sitting in a little bit of confusion or uncertainty. All right, so let me click the button again. How's everybody feeling? Is anybody else feeling it, or is it just me? Is it just me? I know Mick had a bit of a stressful moment this morning because he was very aware that he was out of his comfort zone. So maybe that's what made me go, oh yeah, there's that Mercury opposing Uranus. So Uranus has definitely got that cattle prod out because he's back in Taurus, going, that's not comfortable. What is it that's making you comfortable? And can you, at the end I wrote, patience, maturity, and a plan will help you considerably today. So I'm just wondering if, I'm like, hey, I'm blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, I'm going to shift track now. Sorry, shiny thing. All right, so the solar system weather, the space weather that we are also undergoing right now is quite full on. All right, so there was another huge solar flare yesterday heading directly earthbound. All right, so because the sun's massive and those sunspots are around the equator. All right, so when it turns and those sunspots follow, all right, so when it's coming around, as soon as it starts coming around, and it goes off and it directly heads earthbound, those that are sensitive, all right, those of us that are sensitive energetically are getting pummeled with that extra solar radiation, all right, and we are just atoms stuck together. All right, so when I mean, with I don't need to explain it to you. You know that we are just getting buffered by the cosmic energy right now, and right now that is quite intense. So I was watching that Stefan Burns. So if anybody wants to have a look at the science and the actual science of this and how it relates to astrology and us, go and have a look at Stefan Burns. All right, so so there was a magnitude 7.6 earthquake in Japan this morning. There was a 7.2 in Canada yesterday, and he just lined up like the direct flare and the earthquake happened within seconds of each other. So it's beautiful the way he explains it, because it is just like a shock wave. He shows you how the shock wave of a flare on the sun hits Earth, and the Earth's crust is then affected. So if the Earth is getting affected by these, these M-class flares, then how is it that we are not? All right. So if you are in a state of heightened anything right now, then it is likely that you are also feeling these cosmic weathers as well as everything else that's going on. So, I mean, there is also that. So, again, I'm trying to